You've heard the phrase that Yahweh gave the Torah at Mount Sinai. Who did he give it to and why? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, Day 2, the Torah portion, Yitro. Yesterday, we talked about the fact that Yitro's name is rooted in words that suggest the idea of remnant, or that which remains, that which is left behind, the leftover part. I said it yesterday, more on that in a minute. Well, we never got back to that minute, so let's get to that minute now. Yitro represents a people group who are not immediately Jewish, not immediately Hebrews. Now, he is of the people of Midian. Midian does indeed come from Abraham. He is a son, one of the 6 sons that Abraham had with Keturah. But they were blessed and sent away. And so all of the possessions outside of those 6 sons' blessings and Ishmael's blessing was given to Yitzhak, or to Isaac, from whom then we have the Hebrew people, and most recognized as the Jewish people. I've often heard it said, well, the Torah was given to the Jews. It was given to the Jews as well as the Gadites, the Asherites, the Ephraimites, all of the other tribes. I won't go into the list today. So all of the tribes were there. All of the tribes of Israel were gathered together, and all of them received the Torah. So we should understand that, yes, it was given to the Jews, but why do we say that the Torah now only belongs to the Jews? It's just for them, and it doesn't pertain to me. It's a good question. So the Jews have, for centuries, been those who have protected and guarded the validity and the sanctity of the Torah. Their heart and their passion for this word is unmatched by anyone else for their holy books. You know, I've seen Christians pick up their Bibles and they'll just throw them on the floor or toss them on the couch or stack stuff on top of them. You won't find Jews who do that to their Tanakh. It's regarded as holy and set apart. When they go to the ark, the cabinet that holds the Torah, and it's open, it's with extreme reverence. And they acknowledge that this scroll holds the verbatim word of their Elohim, our Elohim, Yahweh, and it is to be treated with the utmost of honor and reverence and respect. You won't find them laying a Torah scroll on the ground or just sticking it in a corner, but rather it is opened with a sense of awe and splendor. And there is a sense of rejoicing at the hearing of the purity of Yah's own words to us. And so we just throw verses around casually, and we take them out of context, and we make our doctrines out of them that may or may not hold water. Yitro represents such a people who were not first given the Torah, but have heard about it and are curious and desirous. So the Jews, the Torah has been given to them in a sense, and they have blessed us. If they had not kept the Torah, if they had not protected its sanctity and its set apartness and its integrity over the many, many generations, even to the cost of their own lives, we would not have it now. And without the absoluteness of the Torah, we have nothing else to base the validity of the renewed covenant, the Brit Hadashah, upon. We would just be pulling it out of thin air. That all being said now, well, is the Torah only for the Jews? And they will say, it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to us. That is a protective heart. They know that once we get a hold of things, we're going to promote it for our own purposes and take it outside the bounds of propriety. Just as we have the prayer shawls and the kippas and the shofars and all of the other Jewish, quote unquote, elements. And we have utilized it in a less than the desirable or set apart manner. Shame on us. Let's go to the word. What does it say? In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter number 4, it says, verse 5, see, I've taught you laws and right rulings, as Yahweh my Elohim commanded me to do thus in the land which you go to possess. You shall guard and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding before the eyes of the peoples, the nations, who hear all these laws, and they shall say, only a wise and understanding people is this great nation. For what great nation is there which has Elohim so near to it, as Yahweh our Elohim is to us whenever we call on him? And what great nation is there that has such laws and righteous right rulings, like all this Torah, which I set before you today? Moshe is witnessing to them and saying, when the nations see the power, the purpose, and the person of the Torah, they will imagine Israel to be a great nation and a great people that has been given and entrusted this. And they will desire it. In Isaiah, Yeshayahu chapter 2, verse 2 says, and it shall be in the latter days that the mountain of the house of Yahweh is established on the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations, not just Jews, all nations, all peoples are going to flow to it. And many people shall come and say, come, let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of Elohim of Yaakov, and let him teach us his ways, and let us walk in his paths. For out of the Sion comes forth the Torah and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. Isaiah says that the nations are going to come to Mount Sion to listen to the teaching of the Torah. Evidently, it's not just for the Jews, it's going to be for the people of the nations. Let's go to the book of Zechariah, in chapter number 14, verse 9. And Yahweh shall be sovereign over all of the earth. Yahweh, sovereign over all of the earth. All the nations will be subservient to Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, who is not going to do away with his Torah. In that day there shall be one Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, and his name Echad, or one. It says in verse 16, and it shall be that all who are left from all the nations, all the Goyim, Gentiles, which came up against Jerusalem, Yushalayim, shall go up from year to year to bow themselves to the sovereign Yahweh of hosts, and to celebrate the feast of Sukkot. Where do you suppose one might learn to celebrate Sukkot and even figure out what Sukkot is? It's in the Torah. So yes, the Torah is for the Jews, but it's also for you. And those Jews who say, but it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to us, understand their heart. Understand the purity of their motive. It is to protect the integrity, the sanctity, and the set apartness of the Torah, knowing that we oftentimes will pollute it, prostitute it for our own desires as we have other things. But also understand this, Yeshua came to give the Torah to the nations, to the people. Yitro represents those left behind, left out, the remnant, the leftover bunch that didn't get it the first time through, but heard about it and wanted to know more. And once they heard the more, they joined in and they celebrated the power of the Elohim that the Torah reveals. Let's rejoice that Yah has restored the Torah to us. And just keep it set apart today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, shalom.